Hey folks, welcome to the SmackDown Podcast, your home for all your Raw, SmackDown, NXT 205 Live reviews, recaps, pay-per-view predictions. Yeah, man. And we are here, man. We're going to cover 205 Live and NXT today. This is Kyle. I got with us the AJ Styles of podcasts and Sebastian and Shinsuke Nakamura cosplayer Benji. What's up, boys?
What an intro. Nice. What's good?
Oh, man, that's right, folks. This is, once again, your SmackDown podcast. We just a bunch of guys that like to talk wrestling, man. Some people say we sound like dorks. Some other people say it's just like talking wrestling with boys at the bar. I wouldn't know much of either scenario, but hey.
Who said that?
I don't know, man. They said it.
I need names.
Ask Rob. Rob's the one who brought that info to us. All right? Rob's the one. But we can't ask him because Rob's not here, folks. Instead,
okay.
But we want to thank you guys for joining us. Seriously, if you're listening to us on Podbean, Spotify, awesome. What do you guys like to use to listen to your podcasts on? Me, I'm a Spotify guy. Nothing.
Oh, was that a question for us? Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm talking to you. I know. I do the intro, and you don't know if I'm talking to the crowd or you guys.
Spotify's good.
Spotify.
I use a little everything. Spotify, sometimes Stitcher.
Stitcher, I haven't heard of that one.
Oh, Mr. Fancy Pants over here.
Yeah, man. I used to use YouTube, but then I got rid of the subscription, and so now obviously I can't have the podcast running with the screen off, so I've jumped over to Spotify. But speaking of YouTube, you guys, if you haven't already, please hop on over to our YouTube page, type in the search bar, SmackDown Podcast. It's 3 words. Give us a like, a subscribe, maybe even turn that notify bell on, man. We are currently on the journey to 100 subscribers to get that custom URL. And Benji has said he will what kind of makeup?
Makeup?
Makeup? You wear makeup,
time out. What? You
said you're going to wear makeup?
We're going to fight.
Oh, Benji said he's going to put on his skull face paint. Apparently, this is something that you do for your stand-up comedy, right? I'm not making fun of you now. I'm asking you.
No, you're cutting off. I didn't hear what you said.
I said the skull face paint is something that you do for your stand-up comedy, right?
Oh, sure. Yeah. I'm a performance artist. I bring the art. You know what? I am the...
Benji, just as soon as you got passionate, you cut out. It's like I heard passion in that voice, and then it was like bloop, we just cut you from the stream.
Goddamn. No, but y'all subscribe, get us to 100 subscribers, you'll get a special treat. That's all I'm saying. That's right. It'll be worth it. Subscribe.
Absolutely. Thank you, Benji, for that strong endorsement. So I think that's everything. Oh, yeah. If you want to yell at us or just talk anything wrestling, man, I know that you guys are pretty active on Twitter. I'm on Twitter occasionally. Rob is Twitter addict. You can follow us all. You can follow the page at SmackDrawPod on Twitter. Otherwise, I am at The Kai Tai Show. Benji is at CalaveraComedy. Rob Rude is at 2 words can't see me. And then, of course, our new guy, Sebastian, with the best name of all, the best handle, at WrestlingFan_32.
Simple's better. So.
I'm telling you, man. Oh boy, but yeah, that's where you can find us, you guys. And once again, I stress it enough, man. Thank you for joining us on the show. Let's dive into it, man. This was the first week, you guys. I don't know about you guys, where I was looking forward to 205 Live more than NXT, and it was
Really?
Oh yeah, it was definitely due to the. Did you just put headphones on? Your voice came through way clearer.
I got a little confidence, I'm excited about 205 Live. I'm ready to go, man. I'm ready.
Sound like you got right up on that microphone there. Oh,
I heard the complaints. I got it.
Word. Yeah, we had the unsanctioned match scheduled between Mike Kanellis and Drake Maverick, and spoiler, it is a barn burner. Boy, it is a barn burner. But before we get there, we have the rest of the show to cover. show opens up against a tag team match between Brian Kendricks and Tozawa taking on the Singh brothers. This has been a feud that's been kind of started with singles feuds and then kind of merged into tag feud. It's been good, man. It's been really good. What'd y'all think of this match?
I think that the Singh Bros can do it no wrong. They came out, they showed out, they showed why they are Bollywood award-winning, you know, entertainers. You know,
Yeah, award winning.
yeah, you don't know of the Bollywood awards?
I'm
Get with
learning.
the times, man.
I'm
Get
learning, man.
cultured.
You how about you, Sebastian? You a Bollywood fan? Bollywood or Singh
Not
Brothers
really.
fan?
No,
No.
no, I'm not too big on them.
No.
Damn it.
I thought the match was fine. It didn't really stand out to me, but it wasn't bad in any way.
Yeah, I mean, it was a serviceable match. Tozawa got the win for his team, hitting a senton bomb. I was kind of in and out. Was there someone tried to use the award as a weapon at one point, right?
Allegedly, the Singh brothers allegedly used the Bollywood award. All they were doing was simply taking back their award that was wrongfully stolen from them. And, you know, some shenanigans ensued, and that's the reason why Tozawa and Kendrick, you know, what you gonna do?
You really are the Corey Graves of our group. I'm telling you, man. Allegedly, you guys. Oh boy, we got a clip backstage. Lindsay Dorado doing some squats, warming up for his match against Arya Davari, and that match immediately followed the segment. Dorado.
So
Oh, go ahead.
we had there was a little promo.
Oh, I missed it. I'm sorry.
They were asked questions about Humberto Carrillo, what they thought about him, and they were like, yeah, he's cool and all that, you know. He talks a lot about lucha and all that, but he ain't really about lucha, you know, not like how we are, you know. So he's cool and all,
Oh,
nice
nice.
upstart, you know, but you know, he's a lot of talk. We haven't really seen what he can actually do, and that was Linton Dorado saying that, and you know, Kalisto was like, hey, wait, what are you trying to say? Like, I'm just saying how we're all thinking, how it really is, you know. I'm like, okay, so they set the little seeds there for something.
Yeah, man. Yeah. What if Umberto ends up kicking Dorado out of Lucha House Party? And then and takes
Don't
the
you
spot?
dare say that.
Yeah, because I remember hearing the commentator saying that Dorado thinks he's a better wrestler than Umberto during the
Well, I
match.
mean, the proof is in the pudding, man. I mean, yeah, he comes from a high lineage of wrestling, you know, royalty. He's got everything going for him, but he doesn't have the experience that the Lucha House Party does. I'm just saying.
You can't teach experience, folks. Yeah. No.
So it follows up straight into the match. We get Lince Dorado against Arya Davari. Tough situation from Davari coming back from two unjustly losses to the human goblin, Oni Lorcan. All right, so it's a tough spot for him. He's kind of in a rough patch right now. But hey, we all go through rough patches. Doesn't mean Davari De Niro can't come back up, you know. But this was a tough match for him. Lince Dorado came out strong. There's a lot of back and forth. You know, ultimately, Vincent Dorado comes up on top with a roll-up pin, gets the win. But this really showed that, you know, Vincent Dorado, yeah, he was talking all that smack, but he ended up backing it up against a very, very formidable opponent, in my opinion.
So where do we go from here? Do you have obviously you don't have Umberto go straight after Dorado. Though Carrillo's going to have to face off against Davari himself, so they both have a common victory to further the smack talk before they actually collide. That's what I think you would do, right?
Yeah, it's interesting where they're gonna go with this. You already have I'm assuming there's gonna be a little bit of a feud here between Carrillo and the Lucha House Party. Maybe we see a heel turn, maybe potentially. Who knows?
Who though? Like Lucha House Party seems like that would be tough. I don't know if it'd be tough to get him over his heels. Carrillo's way too early to turn him heel, you would think.
Not necessarily a heel, but definitely a more aggressive, more like a veteran versus rookie type scenario.
There you go. Yeah, I could see that.
And then you throw maybe Davari being pissed off at it being the stepping stone here into the mix, and then you got yourself a nice little triple threat.
Ah, okay. There you go. wonder who wins that.
Overall, in all, it was a decent match.
You have Humberto win that,
Davari
right?
doesn't have any bad matches, and Dorado really came out strong and hit all his spots. So it's definitely again another serviceable match. It's not necessarily, you know, match of the year, but it's advancing a story.
Well, they always save that for the main event.
Right.
They save their big blockbuster for the main event, boy, and it delivered. I guess once again. If you have a triple threat between Humberto, Davari, and Dorado, who wins?
Well, let's see what Sebastian has to say about this.
But I think Carrillo wins.
Yeah, Humberto. I think so too. I'm with you on that one.
It's a nice story, if he ends up winning and everything. But I don't see him going over the established veteran. I feel like he still has, he's gonna have to have a little growing pains coming up.
Yeah, but I think that would be his first brush at like title contender spot. Like I don't think he gets all the way to the title and loses, but I think he gets to like a number one contender match and then he loses. So I think he would beat Dorado. I think he'd beat Dorado. Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one though. I mean, you could really hand that win to any of them, and it makes sense. You can hand it to any of them, and it makes sense. Got a Gulak promo that followed this. I missed this. This is just Gulak. Gulaking it up, right?
Gulak is just laying down the law.
Yeah.
He's beat all his opponents. He's like, who's gonna step up? Who's gonna come? Who's gonna run up and get done up? You know what I mean? Like, who's next? Who's my opponent for Summit? So you know what? It doesn't even matter who my next opponent is. Whoever you throw at me, they're all gonna fall right back down. So he's basically just there on his throne, just waiting for someone to step up.
Yeah, man. And with the rumored Daniel Bryan coming to 205 Live, oh boy, I bet those two guys could freaking have a awesome match. I don't know if Daniel Bryan's really going to 205 Live because rumor has it. I don't know if y'all heard this. Breaking news, spoiler alert for SmackDown. So if you don't want spoilers, sorry. But rumor has it it's Daniel Bryan's the one who ran down Roman. That's what the news outlets are saying.
I'm still sticking, and I'll stick by this to this day. I'm still gonna say it's Buddy Murphy.
Telling you, man. So I'm just regurgitating what other people regurgitated.
I'm just saying we all have pretty much the same sources as all these established, news sites.
It all falls back to Dave Meltzer.
Everyone just repeats what Dave Meltzer says.
Everything can be traced back to Dave Meltzer, man.
If he says it, everybody starts repeating it. We all have the same sources.
How many people have jobs just for repeating what Dave Meltzer says?
I'm not taking shots at anybody. I'm just saying, it's what it is.
It is what it is, man.
Everyone except Simon Gotch. Have you saw that? What he said about Dave today?
What's that?
What did he say?
Simon. Somebody asked him about star ratings, and he said, "I don't believe in star ratings. Meltzer's an idiot. The only smart thing that came out of his mouth would be a bullet that entered for the back of his head."
Jesus Christ! there's like disagreeing with somebody, and then there's that. Jesus Christ.
I saw that, and I was like, God.
Holy cow! Gotch has got some anger problems, man. Dude, throwing soda cans and starting fights and fucking the best. Oh my God. How do you go from like, I don't like his reporting style to like, dude could do this world a favor and eat a bullet? Jesus.
The question actually was, how many stars do you think a triple threat between him, CM Punk, and Elijah Burke will get? And that was his response, so.
Jesus. Oh,
that's a random pairing for a question.
It is, yeah, it is. Oh my God, what is Simon Gotch even doing nowadays, man?
So Simon Gotch is an MLW. He's not doing that bad. He's just more of a side role right now.
He ain't setting the world on fire at the moment.
Not necessarily, but he's definitely in a prominent faction over there.
He got a little smolder going, Might turn into a fire. Might get stepped on and snuffed out. Who knows?
It's with anything. You're always like, it's either you're always one match away from something great, or you're just one opportunity away from breaking out. It's like that with anything in life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Great. as he goes and runs off.
Oh no.
But so what do we have next after this? This was the promo.
Uh, the main event, wasn't it?
Yeah, we had the main event. We get recapped the situation going on with Drake Maverick and one Mike Kanellis. So if you get recapped about the story, Mike Kanellis comes in, to 205 Live being promised opportunities. Things didn't go his way, and one could argue that Drake Maverick didn't necessarily, you know, get, push him to the right opportunities. This causes friction between him and his wife, and as we all have seen how that's played out
Oh
in
yeah.
Raw and everything. So it all reaches a boiling point. Mike Kanellis can no longer take the injustices done the 205 Live general manager, who has been spending his time, chasing 24/7 titles and not consummating his marriage.
Oh my
So it all
god.
comes to a boiling point, and Mike Kanellis just tells the truth, tells it how it is. This guy is not paying attention to 205 Live. He's over here chasing, titles, running around, putting up posters, not really paying attention to what's going on over here. And it's been going like that for a while. Drake Maverick says, you know what? You lose your matches. What do you want me to do? So he calls out his wife, crosses the line, they start fighting. And
Yo,
here we come to a unsanctioned 205 live match.
before we get there though, did you see Drake Maverick's tweet? And then his wife's like rebuttal of it. I swear it was
I
like
did not.
it was like the funniest 1-2 punch. So Drake Maverick tweeted out, "I have no shame, no remorse, no fear. I will pin a pregnant woman to become 24/7 champion again." And yes, I have tweeted that. And then he's got his like wanted poster, except now it's got Maria Kanellis on it, right? Well, his wife retweeted it with a quote that says, "Oh, so you'll get on top of a pregnant woman for 3 seconds, but not your wife." I was like,
Oh
"Oh
my
my
God.
god, dude!"
Nice.
Oh man. Oh,
Poor
dude,
Drake.
I that was the best thing I've seen on Twitter today. That was it, man. I shut Twitter down. I was like, "Fuck it. I don't care what anyone else tweets for the rest of the day." It's like,
Damn.
ain't topping that, man. Nah, I'm just kidding. I had to go to work. The first statement makes me sound like a badass. All right, let's just go with that.
Okay.
Dude, this match was brutal. So Kanellis does what anybody in his position realistically would do, and he just jumps Maverick the second he sees him. He doesn't even let Maverick do his entrance. He jumps him right there on the ramp, throws him in the LED board, really works him over, throwing him into the stairs, into the ring apron. It looks like the match is just going to be tossed out. And that's what Kanellis is called for. He's yelling over to Nigel McGuinness, I think it was, telling him to like call forfeit, call this match a forfeit, I win. And then of course Maverick crawls in the ring, and the match at that point officially begins. But I didn't see this match being anything over than an elongated squash match, and I was delightfully surprised by how it went. What'd y'all think when they were whipping each other with the belt? Like, that looked sick as hell, man.
It definitely brought me back to.
Brought you back where?
It definitely brought me back to my childhood. Boy, you once that belt comes out, you're gonna get a licking. Woo!
Oh man, I would hope your parents never took it to your bare back, like your actual spine. But
No, it's mostly around the neck area.
Jesus Christ.
So I might have been abused. No, but
oh
but
my
they were going at it. Maverick was beating this dude like he owed him money, man.
dude,
Like
he
it
owed him
was,
his life.
yeah. Like it was just whooping that guy, man, throwing him around everywhere. Finally and then yelling at him, "You're not a wrestler. You're not a wrestler." Just whooping this dude. And rightfully so. Because he's been saying for a long time on social media and everything, I'm a wrestler. I should be out there wrestling. And he went out there and showed him why.
Dude, I bought
why
his
he
anger. Like I bought it.
right.
I was like, you know, it's a good character when you are able to like stop focusing on the outside and you really buy into the action, and that's what I got. I was like,
Well,
dude, Kanellis is pissed off, man. Like,
one of Canellis' best traits, if you've followed his career, one of his best things is character work. When he can get into a character, as you could see, you'll buy in completely.
oh yeah, man, absolutely. I was hook, line, and sinker the whole time. He looked like after this elongated beating, it was gonna be done. He wanted to instead of get the pin, he wanted to choke Maverick out. Um, and
And I legit thought like we were gonna see the first like headlock tap out like in years. I thought like, oh, well, this is gonna end with a headlock.
yeah,
I thought the
man.
match was clever.
Right, like I bought it
Yeah.
completely.
I did.
I bought in.
But of course, if you can't tell by how we're talking, Maverick gets out of the move, but it was like out of the fire into the frying pan because the beatdown just kept continuing. It went until Kanellis shoved one of the flyers down Drake's mouth, and all of a sudden, I hate to say it, but I mean, it looked like Drake channeled his inner Hulk Hogan. Like,
Which small detail. The posters he shoved into his mouth were the ones of his pregnant wife saying that he was.
oh,
I didn't
the
realize
ones that it's pretty. It's the one that he posted on Twitter. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
with her, you know, t- you know, image on the picture, searching for her, or whatever. That incensed Mike Kanellis, and that's when he shoves the paper to his throat, whatever. And then, as you said, he was basically hulking up. Um, starts mounting his comeback.
he got that belt back. That would have been the first thing I did too. That would have been the first thing. Like work or shoot, man. I mean, like, okay, if you're gonna whip me like unprotected with a belt, there's gonna be another spot in this match where I'm giving it right back to you.
Right, the receipt.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Oh my god.
See, but Mike Kanellis hit him with the belt looped or whatever. This dude hit him like just a straight whip.
you saw the red marks too. Like you had glimpses of them later in the match where the camera got close up to him. You could see welts all over Mike Kanellis. I didn't notice too many on Maverick, but I'm sure they were present. But I remember getting a couple good glimpses of Mike Kanellis and saw like a palm print on him at one part, like that was raised up, and then those belt marks. It looked vicious, man. It looked so vicious.
Yeah, and as we forgot to mention during Mike Kanellis just decimating Maverick. The camera cuts to Maria Kanellis in the
Just loving it, man.
backstage,
Yeah.
watching, just enjoying the hell out of it.
So now that's why I married that man. You know.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, man. But Kanellis, just like damn it, who was screw it. I won't even be clever. Just Kanellis got too greedy. He got too greedy in this. He refused to pin Maverick because he got the upper hand again. They went out onto the table, and Kanellis. Oh no! Maverick got Kanellis laid out on the table and went for an elbow drop, and it looked like he injured his arm.
So he did it. He did a superhuman for all the juggalettes. Woo woo!
Whoop,
And
whoop.
just dove on that fucking table, elbow first.
Oh my god! It's the best reference on the show. Yeah.
Oh. Oh my.
Oh god! Come on. Okay, you got this. You're a grown man. All right.
Yeah, he fucked this shit up by that elbow
Oh,
drop,
he
man.
did,
Like
man.
He was in noticeable pain after, because he just ate shit on that man.
You
Like
can
it
hear
wasn't
him
even
screaming. Oh
Right.
god! I thought he was gonna start cussing. Thought he legit, like, for a moment there, I bought it. I was like, damn, did he break his elbow? Like, what the fuck, man? And but anyways, so Mike has the easy victory lined up for himself. He brings him in the ring. He looks like he's about to hit him with like a dragon, like a reverse DDT, or maybe it's Mike Kanellis' finisher, and I just can't remember. But
It's his finisher. It's more of a neck breaker. Think of something like the Crossroads from Cody Rhodes.
Crossroads, yeah. But instead of doing that, he opts to take Maverick up onto the top rope. He sets himself up on the second rope to give him like a razor's edge. And oh, dude, this spot scared the piss out of me because I didn't.
Yes.
So it's reversed into a Hurricanrana
At
but
the last second.
at the last second, it looked like Maverick was about to break his neck because he went straight down like head first, not even on his shoulders. Like he was about to be like pile drived onto the mat and got that Hurricanrana the last like second. Oh my god, a heart skipped a beat. But Maverick ended up hitting his finisher, which is like Spike Dudley's old finisher. I can't remember what it's called, but he gets the win with injured arm and everything, and the downfall of Kanellis continues. This guy has got to be at rock bottom now. Like he's got to be at rock bottom.
It's the hero's tale, man. You gotta hit rock bottom before you start climbing back up on that mountain, man.
Jesus, dude, yeah, man, because I can't get much worse. I mean, unless like Maria Kanellis just flat out leaves him, which another rumor, take a pinch of salt, could happen. She might be leaving him for Braun Strowman.
What?
She might be leaving him for Braun Strowman, not romantically, but to be Braun Strowman, but to be Braun Strowman's manager.
What?
I said, dude,
Oh my god.
just a rumor. I could be way off. I'm just saying, man. Just saying.
If it ends with Braun being the next Snitsky, then I'm off.
I think.
Right.
What if Braun's the
Personally,
next
man.
24/7 champion?
Which I don't even get. That dude's charismatic enough. What does he need a manager for?
I
That
don't
makes
know.
no sense.
I don't know, man. Yeah, because Braun's a whole other subject. Because I don't know what they're doing with him. He had an awesome match with Bobby Lashley. He had an awesome match, but I
It's
mean,
the same thing they've done with the Big Show all throughout his career. They just don't know what to do with him
with Giants.
because he could fit any role realistically.
Mhm.
But they rather use him for comedy or whatever. They just don't even know what to do with him. It's the same situation Big entire career.
Yeah, no, you got a point, man. Got a point. But that capped off our episode of 205 Live, man. And I gotta say, boy, that was awesome. It was awesome. From what I
That's a real-
gather, NXT had the better
Yeah.
main event. But go ahead.
205 always delivers, man. It's been one of the more consistent shows in a while. A lot of people like to see. I've been telling people 205 Live. It's good shit.
They have a good formula. They give you like 1 to 2 serviceable matches. They either build up a new star or build on an existing story, and then end the night with a really good match and give it enough time to breathe. And that's an awesome formula because you don't have to do too much in the beginning. You have to give you guys something. You can't just crap the first half, but you don't have to overdo the beginning of the show if you can end strong. And that's what they're doing, is they're relying on their performers to make sure every episode of 205 Live ends strong. And I like I said, you showed me the light, Benji. Like, I'm all for it, dude. Like, 205 Live is awesome. And it only took a month for me to be literally looking forward to 205 Live over the other shows. It only took 1 month.
Damn.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. It's crazy, dude. You know what else is
It was
crazy?
a real good treat. It was a real good treat for people that don't follow Impact as well. Because if you don't follow Impact, you wouldn't even know Drake was a wrestler coming in.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I first heard of Drake when he was coming into WWE, but the news outlets and my podcast, they filled me on Rockstar Spud, and he was part of like a British, almost like a British version of Tough Enough.
Yeah.
Him and Marty Scurll may have been on it together. I don't know. I could be wrong here. I could, because it was a while ago I heard this, but
He did a hell of a job selling throughout the whole match, too. I mean, it's what I enjoyed most about it.
I don't think he had to sell, bro. I think he just
No.
really hurt.
But, I mean, like,
I'm
for
just saying
example,
he was
that
good,
super kick,
Yeah.
like that super kick while he was in the chair, that was cool. And, well, he didn't really have to sell on this one because on the replay it showed he smashed his face. But when Mike threw him right into the barricade about midway through, that was
Yeah.
nasty.
He got tossed. I believe he was tossed into after the LED board. walking back down the ramp, like he was tossed into like some lights, like some floor lights on one of the side barriers, and I legit thought like he busted himself up on that light because there was no give, and he hit it so hard. Yeah.
Oh, we didn't even mention when Canellis pulled him out of the ring wheelbarrow style and just like lawn darted him into the barrier.
Yeah, that's what I meant when
Yeah.
they showed the replay and his
Yeah.
face
It's like
smashed.
used him like a baseball bat. Oh my
Yeah.
god, dude. Yeah, no, you're right, man. I hope that Maverick gets a week off of anything physical, because
Well, I mean, it's
And good
not
for Drake.
being the general manager, anyways. I'm just.
Good for Drake. He's missed being out there in the ring too.
yeah,
Yeah, that was obvious. That legit. You have a good point. That was obvious.
Daniel
You
Bryan
could
did the
tell
same
he
thing.
missed. Yeah,
Yeah.
you could tell he missed being.
Oh yeah, something about like a long layoff and coming back. A lot of these wrestlers just get their ass beat. That's how they get like beat back into the game. Daniel Bryan was the
Well,
same thing. Yeah, I saw that we lost.
He
him.
got beat.
Daniel Bryan got his ass beat by Big Cass, I believe it was, that night that he came back from retirement, and you just knew like he was loving every powerbomb he took and all the damn moves that was going on, man. And you could tell like I bet he's having the blast right now, getting the shit kicked out of him.
Yeah.
But yeah, Benji, are you back for good or what's going on, bud?
Oh, I hung up on accident.
Okay.
Benji said, "Fuck this."
Well, we're glad that you could return to the show, Benji. And speaking of returns, NXT had an awesome return. Or I don't know if it's a return though. Yeah, no, it is a return because this is a
It
former
is a
NXT guy.
return.
Yeah,
It
this
is
a
a
former
return.
NXT guy. Yeah. The match, the night started off with in the ring, the best place to start any show off. Tyler Breeze versus Jackson Riker of Forgotten Sons.
Forgotten Sons.
Do
Yes.
unto others.
Eh.
So the Forgotten Sons seem to rub people the wrong way. Like I don't know if I hate them yet. But I don't.
I'm sorry, dude. Just be straight up. They're fucking boring, man. Like
They
they
are?
bore. I don't see it. I just don't. In my opinion, of course, I don't see it.
They strike me as like a discount version of Aces and Eights.
Aces and eights, sanity.
Sanity,
Like
yeah.
it just feels like we've seen this.
And better.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just saying my opinion. I'm just saying.
Well, this is I think I've only seen 2 matches with them. So I mean, but if this is their character and there's nothing outside of this box, yeah, I could see that. There's way more interesting things going on NXT.
I'm a fan of Riker. I think he has potential. I mean, he has a great look too.
They all
But
have
they
good.
do.
They all look intimidating as shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think he'd probably be better off on his own.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Being.
I do. I think he has potential, but I'm not sold on the other two.
Yeah, I couldn't even tell you the other guys' names. I know
Yeah,
Jackson
so
Riker.
Steve Cutler and Wesley Blake. I think
Yeah.
their time is running up, man. They've had a lot of chances.
Blake, former
they-
of Blake and Murphy.
Yeah, Blake and Murphy. As you see, Alexa Bliss and Buddy Murphy have shot up, and he's still sticking around over here. Being enhancement talent to now being this, I don't know, man. This could be their last go around.
Wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, wouldn't surprise me at all. Tyler Breeze ended up winning this. The match isn't the real talking point. Tyler Breeze won, reversing a chokeslam into a roll-up. The Forgotten Sons started beating him down afterwards. It's a 3-on-1 advantage. They're going to beat him down. Saw this. You know what's funny is the whole time I'm like, who's gonna bail Breeze out of this? I never saw it coming. It still as obvious as it was. Caught me way off guard. We got the returning Fandango, bro. Oh my god, the guy still looks like $1 million.
Dude, once
I
he
think he looked better.
right, he's been rehabbing. He's been working out, man. Like he looked. I agree with Sebastian. He looks a lot better.
Yeah,
And he already looked good to begin with, dude. As soon as he stepped into that ring, I legit got chills as soon as he got in there.
man, he made an impact, and the crowd went nuts for him. It's amazing that that what in WWE's like corporate eyes, getting sent back to NXT, like you would almost think it for management is like a demotion, but for the
Hmm.
performers themselves, it's like a complete like rebirth or rejuvenation. Most of
Right.
these guys go down to NXT, and Full Sail just welcomes them in open arms, like full embrace. They go nuts for them. You know, you got to think that's probably the loudest they've heard crowds go off for them since their Fashion Files, and
If you
even
go back to 2017, they were the hottest tag team in all of WWE.
they just WWE just didn't know what to do with them. They made them into stars by mistake. You know,
Right, and they were the hottest thing. That
yeah,
the match in Chicago with the dressing up as janitors against the
yeah,
Usos and all that stuff, man.
yeah, man, that's some good stuff. But but yeah, I'm wondering. So Fandango came out. They fended off the Forgotten Sons, fairly quick fashion. I'm wondering what evolution to their characters we're gonna see, because they're not just gonna be like Fashion Files redone. We're gonna see probably the majority of their characters is still gonna emulate
Well,
Breezango.
as we've seen with what they started to do with Tyler Breeze, it's definitely a more grizzled, more
Grounded.
veteran type character build for them, as being the older guys in the crowd of but basically rookies to them, you know.
Yeah.
So definitely a lot more. You're gonna see a lot more grit, I think, to their characters.
So what do you think, Sebastian? You excited to see him down there?
Oh yeah, I mean, like you said, it's like starting over really. I mean, and I don't mind that. Killian Dane, he's back. Seems to got a jolt, and I think they're going to do the same.
Yeah, because we got Tyler Breeze, Fandango, Killian Dane's back down there. We saw Apollo Cruz go back down there. If y'all could, who would you send down to NXT from Raw or SmackDown? Who would you want to send down there?
Mm, I would send back. Honestly, in my opinion, I would send back Lacey Evans.
Lacey Evans. Wow.
I
Okay.
think she needed. I think she needed more time to. She's getting into her character now because she's it's either sink or swim. But I think I don't think she was down there long enough to really dig into her ring work and character work. She's getting there, but you know she got thrown into the water pretty quickly. She's
Yeah.
done all right. She's done all right, but I think her it's not too early. Well, in a fantasy setting, yeah, set her back, but it's probably too late for that. But that's off the top of my head. That's probably what I would say.
What about you, Sebastian?
Just because how he talked, it gives a kind of a jolt back, and I think it'd make him start to get his love back. Because if you watch Sami Zayn, he don't seem like he likes it, you know.
Yeah.
True, that's a good one too. Yeah.
Yeah. You
So
you'd want to send down someone probably that they're not using it right now. I would send down probably I would send down Rusev. Yeah, he'd be a
yeah,
monster down there. But you know
yeah,
who else? This would be a surprise, but you know who else would probably be really big if you send them back to NXT? Be Bray Wyatt. Think about what the production team in NXT, the stuff that they're doing, what they could do with the Firefly Funhouse that you're just not going to get in the live
Right.
setting. Because you could pre-tape like all that crap, and they prove more than good with that stuff. So, I mean, realistically, Bray Wyatt's fine where he is. He's probably the biggest he's been in ages. But
he's my favorite thing going right now.
yeah, me too.
Yeah.
But
And it's weird. Like you could send anybody pretty much. Like even the short little time that they sent, even like a Titus O'Neil down there, he looked like a straight beast in NXT. The little time he spent down, he looked like a power. He looked like a completely different wrestler.
yeah,
Just letting loose, just from a few weeks of being there, and then obviously they send him back up. But pretty much any wrestler, like they all have the potential to do it and really let loose. So like really anybody, I would say, because honestly, sometimes yeah, that you want to be on the main roster. That obviously you're making a lot more money, you get a lot more, promotion and all that stuff. But NXT sometimes is seen as far as like wrestling fans, they seem to value what they're doing down there a little bit more than the main roster.
I imagine it's like the equivalent of music artists who play the smaller gigs and they play music that they created and that they love. They're not making the most money off that, but that's where they're at their most pure form and they
Mm-hmm.
probably enjoy that more, for the soul. And then
Mm-hmm.
you compare that to when they get producers and stuff, and all of a sudden they're making a ton of money, but they're not really singing anything that's truly theirs, and
Well, like
and they have a
to
more
Sebastian's point, Sami Zayn is the perfect example of that.
yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's when you can
Well,
be your own artist.
and two, another thing you don't really think about is that a lot less travels in NXT too. You stay
Yeah.
more fresh. You have a couple days tapings every 3 weeks, and maybe a tour, 3-day, 4-day tour every 2 weeks. You're not on the road.
Yeah, I forgot about that. The main roster travels a grind, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
over 200 something people are wrestling over 200 something days a year,
Yeah. Well, I mean, you stay fresh, and that's
Yeah.
good for not just the body, but the mind too. And I'm sure it has something to do with the main roster's problem.
Yeah, because too much of anything is not necessarily a good thing.
Especially if you got kids at home.
Yeah,
I always imagine. I'm not a wrestler, but I always imagine that being like the tougher part, especially with having families and stuff.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine being away from my daughters.
Yeah, like from months on end, man, and just coming back. And you only get like a day or two off, and then you got to go back on the road.
I mean, you see,
I mean, it's definitely a lifestyle, man.
Carl Anderson posts videos a lot, man, and sometimes when he sees his kids, and sometimes he put up there his kids damn crying when he has to leave again, that's gotta
Yeah, man.
I know
That's
me.
that.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I got two boys, and I mean, you're a parent too, Sebastian. I couldn't be away from my kids like that, man. I mean, you really
And
can't. It would be tough.
it's hard on the kids too. I mean,
Yeah,
when they grow up, they understand. You had to do what you got to do to make the money, but
yeah,
when they're at that age,
yeah. It'd be like if Benji just left his dog, man. It'd be tough for you to be away from your dog, Benji.
I don't give a shit about him. What the fuck? I mean, I'm trying to understand what you guys are saying about I mean, I get it. I get the kid stuff and everything. I understand it. I'm a heartless monster. I get it.
Yeah.
Don't want it, but I get it.
All right. Well, enough of that stuff. We'll keep it going. Something that we can all look forward to is this breakout tournament. Boy, they deliver every match. We got Bronson Reed and Cameron Grimes in the semifinals, fighting for that spot in the finals. Bronson Reed is a big boy, and he's got that Australian strong style, bro. What y'all think about him, man?
Oh, well, listen. I've been talking a lot.
You good? It's our job to talk a lot, man. Are you kidding me? That's what we do.
that was the first match I got to see him. I didn't get to see the first real match. That was when I had a death in the family, and I
That's right, man.
missed a couple
Oh
of
man.
So my first person, he moves well for a big man one, and like you said, he has a very strong style.
He's got a devastating
Too.
splash. Like that boy
Yeah.
launches off the top rope, man. Goodness gracious. It's like a house
Yeah.
falling
I-
on top of you.
He moves well. He's pretty athletic for his size, and
Yeah. Ooh,
guys like
Um,
you and Dane, you can come up with a lot of stuff for him.
that's true.
From seeing him in the Indies as Jonah Rock, he's part of that new brand of big men that can move and be athletic and just do all things that they shouldn't be doing,
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you guys first time seeing him, first few times seeing him, seeing what his Australian strong style and his hard shit that he's been doing, man, you guys are gonna become fans. This
Another guy I'm quickly becoming a fan of is Cameron Grimes, because his finishers, the jumping double stomp, and that's 2 matches now that I've seen him. He just busts it out of nowhere, mid-match. Like, you don't see it coming. I hate that anytime you say out of nowhere, you got to compare it to an RKO, but it really is. It's just one of those moves that's accessible at almost any given time in a match.
Right.
And that's how he picks up the victory, man. Grimes moves on to the finals, facing off against Jordan Miles. Personally, I got to take Grimes. I'm over here in North Carolina. I got to cheer for the North Carolina boy.
Boo.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. This just because he's like from like 2 minutes down the street. I got to cheer for the guy. I'm not even from North Carolina, but shoot, man. I mean, how many big wrestlers are from Maine, anyways? So,
So why couldn't you go for Jordan Miles, huh?
because Miles isn't from North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
That's all.
Okay.
Oh, were you trying to lead somewhere? Was that trying to lead into something?
I'm not leading. I'm just saying. I was just asking a question.
Okay.
Miles, maybe Miles is not your cup of tea.
Really? I don't even think he is a cup of tea, man. I don't know where.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
I don't know where we're going with this.
I don't know how you like your coffee.
Oh my god.
So the finals was made official for the episode after Takeover, right? They said 2 weeks.
I didn't catch when it is.
So.
Yeah, they did say 2 weeks, so that would be the taping.
Right
before
Takeover. It would make sense because the winner gets the title shot of a champion of their choosing, so that would make sense.
That strikes me as they're going to go after the
spoiler's going to be out.
So
if they take the route before Takeover.
Yeah. So who you think is what belt are they going to go after?
It depends on who. I would think it depends on who retains.
Yeah.
Or becomes new champion.
So the way I see it is you're gonna have Adam Cole with the NXT Championship, and you're gonna have Roderick Strong with the North American Championship.
Oh, you're thinking they're gonna get all the gold?
Yeah, I'm thinking they're just gonna run. Right now, they're gonna drape every brand. They're gonna have a faction with all the gold. You got New Day on SmackDown. You have the OC on Raw, and then you have Undisputed Era down in NXT. So you got 3 factions all draped in gold simultaneous. You make a lot of cool posters and shit, So I think they're gonna do it. I think they're gonna do that. Granted, it's probably realistically a long shot, but that's where my mind's at. I'm just gonna say that. I don't know, man, because you would think now if you would kayfabe wise, you go after the big title. Why go after a secondary belt when you have the option to challenge for the world title? You know what I mean? Like, why would you ever take the secondary title over the world title? But it's just weird.
True. So if that's being the case, I'm going Jordan Miles winning the thing and then challenging
Adam Cole.
I do think Adam Cole's gonna.
Miles is athletic as hell. Yeah.
I mean, but he's just more than athleticism, man.
Yeah. I mean, he's got the charisma and I'm trying to think of like their styles of wrestling and stuff. Yeah, they're both brash. They both can garnish reactions out of the crowd, although Adam Cole is going to get a bigger reaction than pretty much anybody on the active roster right now. Yeah, I can see that, Miles and Adam Cole. Like I said, it's just weird that it says a champion of your choosing. Because it makes me think that they're going to do something like weird. Like Miles and Grimes have like a badass match together and they earn each other's like respect, so then they go for the tag titles or something.
So when they say a champion of their choosing, are they talking about like just an NXT or
I
like?
believe it's NXT. I think they say any NXT champion.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, because that'd be crazy. Like, I challenge Brock Lesnar.
No, I was thinking like they did in Worlds Collide. You win, you choose a champion of your choosing from like 205 Live, NXT UK, NXT type thing.
Yeah, okay, I can see that.
And you brought up how going for the bigger title makes sense. Velveteen, that's how he got the shot at the American title, right? He won the Worlds Collide thing.
Yeah, he chose the North American title. He didn't go for the.
Yeah, so.
Who knows, man?
We've seen it before.
Yeah, like I said, from like a kayfabe standpoint, you would always want the biggest belt. You know, like it
Yeah.
just unless like you had like I don't know, like a coach telling you you're not ready and convinces you, or there's some special lineage. Like arguably, like you could see some people up on the main roster wanting to go after the Intercontinental Championship just because of its lineage, but it's a stretch. I just think that you go for the main belt. I don't know. I'll tell you who's not interested in going for a belt right now, and that's Matt Riddle. He is all focused on Killian Dane. In fact, they had pre-recorded footage of him training in like one of his I don't know what gym he trains at, but you see like the MMA cages and everything. So he's doing his MMA training, and he's prepping for Killian Dane, and I'm sold on this match, man. I'm so sold.
Next week.
Next week, who wins?
As much as I enjoy the old, as much as I enjoy seeing Matt Riddle over there, broking out and all that stuff, I'm gonna have to go Killian Dane.
Yeah, me too. Just because, why have him lose his first big match since coming back?
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go
it seems-
Riddle
it would
just so
seem
we're
kinda
not on the
stupid.
same page.
You don't believe that.
I did kind of get a crack out of the guy going to a gym and asking one question, and then him just like...
It's like a TMZ reporter. It's like, Riddle, are you training for Killian Dane? And Riddle's like, yeah, later, bro. And just like... It's
He gets a 10-second answer like, I wasted gas for that. What the fuck?
How far did he drive? Like,
I don't know, but...
he flew in there? Jesus. Great job, bro. You're fired. So I was saying, I think at an earlier episode that Mia Yim, I needed to see something out of her to really sell me on this title match. This segment, this promo was it, bro. This was it. Oh man, Yim is confident on that mic. She is it. It's like she believes. It's like kind of like what Stone Cold says. It's like your character has to be like some kind of extension of your real life personality, and I feel like that might be Mia Yim. I've never heard of her before the fact, so I could be way off base here, but like I buy her character, like I buy it tenfold now. Yeah, Shayna Baszler out there cutting a promo on Mia Yim. Pretty much kind of just getting the point across. You're not on my level. I'm gonna beat you. All that stuff. Yim comes out and she gets in Baszler's face, and she just says, "Game recognizes game, and you look unfamiliar." And I was like,
I love that line.
dude,
I love that line.
Oh my god,
that was the line I had in my notes. That was the line for me.
Yeah, man, because that's all I took, man. Afterwards, I just wrote down. I was like, Yim is real good on the mic. I don't know. She could have kept on talking. I was just jaw dropped from that line, man. And they had a little stare off.
She came out with the NWA shirt.
Oh my goodness.
I noticed that toward the end. Yeah.
I didn't even notice it, man. What is it with these people down in NXT and they wear some like really cool apparel? Like I remember seeing like the recap of Killian Dane beat down on Riddle, and I noticed that he was wearing a Tool shirt, and I was like, "Oh, that's so."
Yeah,
cool.
he had a Tool shirt. Baszler was wearing a Slayer. Just rocking what they like, man.
Yeah, that's cool, man. They got that freedom where they don't have to push their merch like every second they're on screen. Benefit from that would be like Seth Rollins. He could really benefit from being able to dress a little bit different. Because
well, that dude has like 50 shirts, man.
I know, but like going back to Meltzer, he claims that WWE is desperately trying to make Rollins cool, But I was thinking, when I heard that,
he's corny as hell as a babyface. I'm just saying.
I know, man. It's yeah. I mean, but you saw it too because they have him out there with the Street Profits, and it's like you can only. It's like you can't become cool by association. All right, you can't just stand up next to other people that other people like. And all of a sudden he turns cool. But I was thinking.
It worked out for this podcast once me and Sebastian joined.
Oh, you can shut the fuck up. Anyways, Candice LeRae is outside waiting on Io Shirai. Oh man, Regal comes out, and
Yeah,
essentially,
AJ Styles really brings the product up, you know.
yeah, I'm telling you, man, the styles of podcasting, Sebastian, fucking Christ, you guys.
I'm sorry, I got concussed.
Oh man, but essentially Regal comes out to try and talk LeRae down, and so she requests a match for Takeover, and Regal approves it. So we got Candice LeRae and Io Shirai going at it at Takeover. That should be a really good match. Can't wait to see how we haven't seen Candice LeRae in the ring that much, have we?
No.
She's had a few matches here and there, but she hasn't had any storylines or anything.
Is this her first Takeover match?
Yes, I wanna
Officially,
say.
yeah. She's been on those match. You know how they'll film the takeover, and then they'll film the regular NXT in the same arena, and then they'll air those the next week after the takeover.
Yeah.
She's mostly been in those, but
Okay.
never officially like on a singles match.
So that's cool. Good for her, man, because she sat on the sideline for too long. Like as good as a wrestler as she is, like she needs to be used more, and so that's awesome that she's finally getting like a takeover match and story.
Well, what you see with the women's division in NXT, it's stacked, so there's not a lot of room for that many people.
And with the 1 hour showtime, you really do have to use everybody sparingly. You can't overdo like someone.
Right. As you've seen, like Bianca Belair is taking a little bit of steps back from being on a prominent role. I think you'll see once you get the next round of call-ups. I think, especially from the women division, you'll see more people start having more prominent roles. I think it's going to be time for Shayna Baszler to move up because she's pretty much done. She's been so dominant for so long.
Yeah, man, that's true.
And it's cool too. This is only the second time I believe that they've had 2 women's matches on the takeover. So it says a
Yeah.
lot for Candice and Shirai that they're going to put them on there.
That's true. That's true. It means they probably got really big things in store for at least one of them.
I think the first was at Brooklyn, Asuka Bailey, and I want to say Ember's debut.
Yeah, usually you just have one match. This is 2, so that's big. But then again, I think overall you have a lot of matches this takeover. Normally they don't have that many.
Like I think it's like a 5-match card normally, right?
Yeah, this is a bigger show.
Well, I don't know. See, I actually brought that up last week, and I think it's going to stay at 5. They're going to have Riddle Dane next week.
Yep.
They already said the breakout tournament finals is going to be 2 weeks, so that won't be on the takeover card. And
So who do we got right now? We got the tag championship. We got Candice and Io Shirai. We got Baszler and Yim. We have
the triple threat, Velveteen Dream,
and then the
Dunn.
main event with Adam Cole.
so it's
and,
the 4 titles and then Candice Shirai.
Yeah, so those are the only 5.
That's a typical takeover.
Yeah, so I mean, unless they have anything else, yeah, it's just it's another 5-match card.
And I would assume Forgotten Sons and Brazongo would be taped before, I would say. If I was guessing that.
Yeah,
That'd be
that ain't getting on the
that'd be that.
takeover.
No.
Yeah, so unless they come up with another one in a week's time, which I don't think they're going to. Yeah, it's just another 5-match card. But it does feel bigger because there's more stories going on. You got, like you said, you got Riddle and Dane and well, yeah, everything else we just covered. Yeah, so
because last week I said they could be 7 matches, but they did
because it felt like it.
Yeah, but they pretty much sorted everything out this week as far as that goes.
Yeah, cool. Speaking of the matches, we kind of just spoiled one. Street Profits and Undisputed Era. Their contract signing will be next week for the title match at TakeOver. What do y'all think about contract signings? They lame, they cool. You for them?
It depends. Like
Depends on who's running them.
Right. Because normally you can get some good promos off them without having to normally rely on the brawl that follows afterwards. I don't know if you guys watch the Being the Elite, all that stuff. They did a pretty cool contract signing with Sean Spears and Cody Rhodes. They had the whole table. They had the lawyers ready. It was like in a conference room setting. Made it like super like legit. I thought that was
I gotta catch up on being the elite.
I thought it was an interesting. It was an interesting take on the typical contract signing. But I think for the most part, yeah, it comes out as kind of lame. But like Sebastian said, it just really depends on who's
What they
doing
do
them.
with it. Yeah, because
Yeah,
it's usually like a signing and then someone goes through the table. At least that's the main roster way of doing it. You know, most of the time.
yeah, I mean, you look back to Kofi Daniel. That was a good segment. And
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
I was in the crowd for Rollins Styles. I was at that Raw. And I
Yeah.
enjoyed it. I don't know how it came across on TV, but I enjoyed being there in the crowd.
I
Well,
remember.
like you said, it depends on who's doing it and what they're saying. Like if they're really laying into each other, then I think that brings it
Yeah,
out more.
Man, remember
and
when Undertaker
we
stabbed
don't
Brock
see
Lesnar in
many.
the hand with the pen?
I watched
Yeah.
that not long ago, and we haven't seen many tag team ones either. So that's gonna be kind of
Yeah,
That's true.
that's cool. Yeah, you bring up a good point there. And then not to mention as charismatic as the Street Profits are, and of course Undisputed Era. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I can get behind this, man. I can get behind it.
I'm sure.
It's
I'm sure Kyle O'Reilly will get a good GIF out of that.
Him just air guitar.
Yeah.
two very charismatic teams. Who do you guys have going over on that one?
Oh, I mean, you know me because of the Undisputed Era being draped in gold. So
Well, I don't think that's gonna happen because unless, like I said last week, Dunn takes the fall, I don't think the other team's getting pinned. But I do think the Street Profits are losing.
yeah,
You think they're losing already? Not even one defense?
I think so. I think
they're about to be
they
called up to
kinda-
Raw. How can you call them
Yeah,
up if
that-
they're still champs?
True.
Only person who can do that
That-
is Kevin Owens.
Yeah, that's why I think it. I think they kind of hot-shotted that real quick and then was like, well, we probably don't want to put them on there with the titles. So,
Yeah.
Well, I guess if you say like that, I guess they didn't know that they were gonna blow up as much as they did just from appearing a little bit on the main roster.
Yeah,
And knowing how they work, they definitely will strike on that as soon as possible.
yeah, they're not
and
gonna.
I need to feuds too. I mean, you got Viking Raiders that's getting squash matches, but you know, Usos and Revival's been ran through numerous times now, so they need new faces.
Yeah, you still have like AOP and other teams that really haven't done much with that they called up.
I want to say I didn't see personally, but I heard AOP's on main event and they're losing matches.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah,
No,
Damn.
I'm starting to think they're about to pull the plug on them.
that's a damn shame, man. Because
Dude,
look at all the monster tag teams you could. I mean, because that's something that we never really had was like legit monster tag teams and multiple of them. Every now and then you get a couple, like you had like the Brothers of Destruction, Kane and Undertaker. That's the most notable one where you had two monsters in a tag team. But like, think about it, man. You have the War Raiders and AOP. Could you imagine if they created a fucking faction? Like who could stop them?
Ran a team.
You said who?
Kane and Big Show ran a team.
Kane
for a
and Big
while,
Show,
dude.
yeah.
Yeah.
Man. They ran roughshod in a damn Royal Rumble the other year. But yeah, to have like multiple monster tag teams on the same program would be crazy, but just doesn't look like that's the direction they want to take it, you know.
And that sucks because I saw them, the takeover where they were over here in Chicago, and they were amazing. They look
legit.
much bigger in person. Go ahead.
I think what really hurt them though is the division that they came into. When they came in, the damn B team was a chance. I mean,
Jesus Christ.
True.
so
Oh my
so the
God.
competition they had when they came up, I mean, they had to pretty much create Root and Gable just so they'll have a credible tag team to feud against.
Yeah,
because
because they didn't want because I mean they had to have B Team doing its thing. They had to keep them away from B Team at all costs.
Yeah, I mean that hurt them. If you remember at that time, it was before the wild card rule and SmackDown tag division was stacked, and they didn't really have nobody.
Yeah, that's nuts, man.
Wow, that is depressing.
I know, right? I'm getting sad thinking about AOP because such a. I mean, there's still technically time for them, but like, such a missed opportunity, and for so long too. Like, It's crazy. It's just crazy. You have guys that look like that and that are actually good in the ring together. You know?
And it doesn't help that being on the sidelines and then you start getting injured. That definitely doesn't
Yeah,
help in their favor.
true. And they took away Paul Ellering, who was an incredible manager. Incredible. He did an awesome job completing
The
that.
the excuse they gave was that he didn't want to travel, but he's been on record saying that he'd have no problem traveling.
No, it was the same reason why a lot of the older guys get off TV is Vince doesn't believe once you hit a certain age that you shouldn't be seen on television no more.
That's that old school entertainment, TV entertainment mentality.
Yeah, I mean, well, Vince is like the better part of like 75 years old, so
But by Georgie, we can have 2 reunion shows a year.
I know, God, right? Just tell me about it. Oh man, yeah, I know. Vince is a fickle being, but I think we should only have to put up with him for about another year or two, and then we're gonna
Why
see it.
is he gonna die?
Probably. It's not what I was insinuating, but I mean, it is a
Oh,
possibility.
oh shit!
Uh, no, he's got the XFL, man.
Oh, that's still going on.
Yeah, man, it's still going on. Yo, how about when we watched Armageddon? They made a reference to XFL. I forgot to bring it up in the show, but they said, oh my God, what is it? They said something about the XFL, and then also they made another. I read an article recently that was like, oh, funny note. I think they said like Jimmy Uso now is not eligible to play in the XFL because of his criminal record. Like, because of
That's fun.
yeah, because they have some rules in place for what makes you an eligible player, and one of them is your record, and apparently
No criminal records. You know how many football players are
well, that's
not gonna?
no, I know, man, it's crazy, but it's weird, man. XFL is such a funky beast. Well, let's get on to the main event, you guys.
Oh yeah, the one you didn't watch.
Yeah, thank you. You told me before the show, fake it till you make it, and you have to out me just like that. Spoiler, I didn't watch the main event. I know who won, but as far as the details go, I don't know much. I'll let you guys talk us through it.
Go ahead, Sebastian. You take.
I'll let you.
All right, I guess I'll take it. Whatever. Okay, so we get Pete Dunne and Roderick Strong. Strong immediately he goes to town on fucking Pete Dunne's back, dude. Like he's known as the Messiah, the backbreaker, and once again he's proven why, man. He hit backbreakers from all kept targeting his back from every angle, the ring post, the steps, the turnbuckle, from different variations. He hit everything, man. He hit backbreakers I've seen before. And then you have Pete Dunne, whose offense mainly consisted of targeting Roger Strong's arm. He put him at one point. Y'all know that when they have their arm like extended on the floor, and then they usually step on the elbow.
Yeah.
But this time, a little variation. As he's extended, Pete Dunne steps on his deltoid, or more towards his shoulder, and his arm just snaps forward in a real like nasty fashion. Keeps going for his fingers, dude. Dude, this you have to go back and watch this. This was you could have put this on the main event on a pay-per-view. This was that fucking good.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna watch it. Probably watch it actually when I go to bed.
Yeah, this was a main event. You can put this on a pay-per-view. This is your main event, man. They put on a high cap. Ultimately, you have Pete Dunne continuing to go for Strong's arm. They get into a roll around. Dunne goes for a Strong counters, and which led him open for Pete Dunne to grab his other arm, rolls over on his neck, and then proceeds just to start snapping his fingers, all of them. And then Strong pretty much had no choice. This dude was just snapping into him like Slim Jims, man, just ripping him apart. And he had no choice. He had no choice but to tap out. Like he was gonna rip his fingers off. And I hadn't seen anyone tap out to that maneuver yet, but it was a tough loss. There was a lot of like false finishes in this match. You thought, okay, it's over, it's gonna be over. Strong won, no. Pete Dunne kicks out. Okay, Dunne's gonna win. No, Strong kicks out. It took full advantage of its time, and it really it burned the house down, man. This if you, it was up there with that unsanctioned match. If you see it, you'll probably think it would be even, it would top that. As far as the brutality in the match, everything was crisp. Everything was just vicious. Definitely one that you want to watch. There are not many. There's not a lot of matches you want to watch twice, but this is one you would definitely watch at least more than once.
Hell yeah. Well, I'm excited to watch it
All right, I
There
sold
was
that. Now, Sebastian, go ahead.
now.
I didn't want to go with concussion to do a play-by-play on a 25-minute match. That's
Yeah,
why
no,
I sent it to you. But
It sounds like it was a badass match. I mean,
yeah, it was. It was brutal. There was one spot where they did a sunset flip powerbomb.
Oh
And they
yeah,
kind of botched
yeah.
it. They kind of botched it, and it kind of. We talked about Drake's, reversal. Kind of looking. I thought that Roderick might have got hurt on that.
So you normally you go since Seth Rollins' injury and another other couple indies wrestlers injuries. You know how they normally go for the sunset flip power bomb. They go in one motion,
Yeah.
and since people have been tearing their ACLs, they stopped doing it. They'll do the sunset flip, but they'll land first, gather themselves, and then power bomb them. Dunn went for a sit down sunset, but for whatever reason, Strong didn't get enough rotation, so he landed shoulder first on top of Pete Dunne as they crashed on the floor. Could have easily tore his
Gnarly.
torso. It was
Yeah,
bad.
he
Yeah,
immediately
yeah.
went to grab that arm too. I thought that
Ooh.
he was going to get hurt.
Yeah,
And
It was
I was like, don't throw that triple threat into jeopardy, man.
yeah, yeah. Like and ironically, it was the arm Pete Dunne was targeting the whole match just by coincidence. It happened to be that same. But yeah, this could have easily like canceled that whole triple threat out. That was a for sure.
It was only the second time I've seen someone tap to that. The first time was their UK's first takeover. That was
Yeah,
Fish
yeah.
to come.
You don't see it a lot.
Uh, but I do have it in my notes. I didn't really know how to type it, so hopefully I can say it a little better. How many times have you seen on the main roster, like a week before a triple threat, they'll put the two challengers in a match and
And
play
keep the
up,
champion out.
and play up the fact that they're not going to be fresh and all this, and it'd only be like an 8 to 10 minute match, nothing really happening, and you
But no, they let these guys
logically,
go for like almost a
Yeah,
half hour, man.
logically, you sit there and you're like, they're not going to be feeling that in 10 days. But this is a match where
Just
Yeah.
like, damn.
they're going to be feeling it in 10 days. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, they
I did enjoy
didn't
that.
hold back at all, man.
I did like that after the match, Dream is in the background. They're using that shot now a lot, where you have the guy staring down the hard cam, and then in the
Yeah.
background the challenger appears. They've used that like 3 times in the last like 2 weeks or so. It feels like.
Yeah, Drew Taker.
Yeah, the Drew Taker, and then they did it again. I think on the Raw like the night after. But I liked that Dream took his sweet time, looking like he was gonna lay out Dunn with the title, and Dunn turned around, and Dream was just the look on his face was priceless. Oh man, but I liked it, man. It ended with Dream posing and Dunn pretty much breaking the fingers essentially. I like Strong screaming at him too, because I love how Full Sail is small. So once the crowd like pipes down, you don't even have to have the guy on mic, and you kind of hear him in the background shouting. And I love that. It adds to the atmosphere. But yeah, you're Strong shouting. It's like, it doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. That's my title. Which, hey, I believe you, man. But
It's one of the things about NXT is as big as it can be, they still capture that feeling of like being like an indie show or more like a house show. Like
yeah.
they haven't lost that feeling.
No, it's awesome, man. It really adds to that show. That show was a gem, dude. I hope they don't change the format up too much when they go on TV, and I hope they keep it pre-taped. But I doubt it. I'm pretty sure they're gonna go live once they go to television.
It's one of those things, man. You have gold while you have it, but sometimes you can't stay the same forever, man. At some
No,
point, you do have to change, and hopefully, they're able to keep the magic that they still have without losing it. As you see that a lot once you become more mainstream and more out there. So hopefully, they don't mess with the formula too much. Granted, you're on TV, so there's different things you have to pay attention
it
to as
does.
well.
It does make me nervous that they're gonna use it as a tool to combat AEW, and it makes me feel like Vince is gonna want to have his hands in it more since it's trying to go after his competition. Um,
I think that I don't know, man. I think Triple H has such a hold on that. He's proven to be. I'm making a lot of money off of this. I don't know that he'll necessarily step into that. I think he's as senile as he may be. I think he's still enough smart enough businessman to know that if you have something. Oh, you know what the fuck am I talking about? You're probably right.
yeah,
Forget it.
it's
Never
Vince
mind.
is a control freak, man. You know what I
Never mind.
mean?
Yeah, you're
Like,
right.
yeah,
Well,
but
I mean, he knows how to win a war though, and he had apparently this week. Remember, I did talk about on our SmackDown one about the report of him tearing up Bischoff's script. But apparently, he only changed 2 details of the whole Raw show, and the rest was Heyman.
yeah. Well, I don't even think Bischoff is doing anything with the creative aspect of that. Bischoff and Paul Heyman are I think the same title, but they're doing two different jobs. I
Well, if we're being honest, Paul Heyman is definitely better running a show and being more creative, especially with booking and storyline wise and everything.
Yeah,
yeah,
Eric
yeah.
Bischoff, if you grew
knows how
up
to
or
do
if you've
like the
seen
TV
ECW when it was
stuff. Oh,
yeah,
sorry,
but as
yeah,
far as like running stories and everything, like that's not your guy.
no, no, but he's really good at like TV relationships and branding and
Yeah,
stuff like that. So I
but
believe that's what he's doing, and he's not so much in their creative room like say Paul Heyman is.
Right, and
but just
then go ahead.
just the fact that he only changed 2 small details of Raw, though, it kind of to me shows that he's starting to learn at least a little bit to trust somebody.
Yeah, he's gonna have to.
The only details were, I think he kind of spiked up the intensity of the Brock beatdown, and there was a small detail in the gauntlet he changed, but the rest was all Heyman, according to
Yeah,
things you read online.
yeah, man.
Yeah, so hopefully he doesn't mess too much with NXT. NXT's had a good group of people behind it. It's been consistent for many years.
And that's another reason I thought they maybe add an extra match or two at Takeover just to try to switch the formula up and see, you know, if it sticks or not.
Yeah, this they're pairing this one off with SummerSlam, so this is gonna be a
It's gonna be an awesome week of wrestling. Like, it's gonna be such a really good week.
well, yeah. You have that. Then you had the next month. You got the All Out and then NXT UK Takeover match, and you got the
The fourth
G1. There's
quarter
a
of the
lot
year,
of
the
wrestling.
fourth quarter of the year, and then going into January with the next Wrestle Kingdom. Boy, it's just gonna be nonstop, man. Wrestling is definitely gonna probably see its biggest peak in popularity, maybe in some
I
time.
mean, and then you see the way
A
like
long time.
yeah, you see the way like people are jumping on board with AEW. More people outside of wrestling are wanting to get involved in it. It's it's not that it's necessarily out there as the cool thing, but it's definitely starting to pick up a lot more
It's cooler than it
popularity. And
used to be.
right,
That's
like
for sure.
you definitely see a lot more documentaries about it, wrestling in general. Just more things brought up to light. Indie shows like I go to a lot of them, so I see the more number of people start coming out to indie shows. People who don't ever normally go to wrestling coming out and enjoying the show. Just all over, man. It's a good time right now for wrestling.
Hell yeah, I completely agree with you. And what a good spot right here to close out our show. So thank you guys for listening. Benji, usually like to toss it to you, man. Any parting words of wisdom?
Oh,
Any
here we go.
any?
Hopefully we get this one.
Yeah.
True. As we've seen, I have given other parting words of wisdom in the past, and they've been cut off for some reason. And sometimes that happens in life. You know, you have a lot of creative input, and then just things chop you off. You like you come out from NXT, you come out from 205 Live, you have all these bright ideas, and then things happen for whatever reason, and they just stop you. But you know what? You can't stop. You won't stop.
Well, that's
You
our
can't
show,
let
folks. Y'all have a great night. Awesome. That's
All right, peace.